Are we rolling? My holiday in Costa del Sol took place the week before Easter. This is the time of the Semana Santa. Semana Santa is a festival that dates back to the 16th century and is often called Holy Week in mainland Europe, but it is considered to be a huge celebration in Spain as well as Mexico. If you're quickly glancing at some pictures on Google, you might be a bit taken aback by the appearance of it, but that's deceiving because at the core, it celebrates the Passion of Christ in the Catholic tradition. I went on holidays to Fuengirola in the south of Spain, and this is said to be one of the best places for Semana Santa, with world famous festival activities taking place in Marbella and Malaga, not too far from Fuengirola. Now, let me explain the meaning and purpose of everything that's going on in this festival. Each day, there are numerous processions taking place. Each one is from a brotherhood. And the way to look at brotherhoods is like a church group, like a choir group that's specific to a particular church. So yeah, if there's many churches, there's going to be many processions. These processions have many people carrying different ornaments, but the main focus of them is the big float. And often you have two of these. One with the Christ and one with the Mother, Mary the Virgin. Now this varies from time to time, but for the most part, these floats or passos, P-A-S-O, are carried from the church that it came from to the center of the town and back to the church. And these floats are massive. They take 40 to 50 strong men to carry them on their shoulders. So they're very big and very heavy. It is said that they're above 1,000 kilos on average. Huge. The men carrying them are called Nazarenos. And in the procession that I went to in Mijas, it got to me because I stood right next door to these men. I could see the pain in their eyes as they were like barely carrying it, having to stop every dozen steps or so. Some Nazarenos who are not carrying the float walk barefoot and often have chain shackles around their ankles. I've talked to one of them and he said that some people go for 14 hours barefoot. And you're going to see images of these Nazarenes, and I need to reaffirm they have nothing to do with the KKK. Because you're probably going to ask that, but no, they're not the KKK. Now the processions are very varied, each one is different, and some are very small, only visited by locals, and others are massive spectacles where watched online by live television around the whole of Europe and even the world. The ones that I went to in the region of Andalusia, the south of Spain, are said to be one of the most flashy and extravagant in the world, so bear that in mind. And also, you'll see that the colour purple is seen throughout, from the float, the pesos, to the men wearing the robes. Purple is everywhere, and this signifies the pain and the suffering that Christ had undertaken. In cities such as Marbella, there's flamenco songs actually being sung from balconies, and when they're sung, the procession pauses, the float is put down, and everybody just waits till the song finishes. It's a really weird thing to see from an outsider's perspective, but I can kind of see the respect that comes from the core. Time-wise, the processions all range again. Some start at 6 PM and then even go till 5 AM. Now these are the big massive ones. The one in Mijas lasted from I think 7 to 11. Stayed there from 7 to around 9. Talking about Mijas, the town only had 40,000 inhabitants, and a lot of them work elsewhere. They don't work in the city, so the city is very small and there's not a lot of people around during the processions. So it was a really unique experience because the streets were super narrow, super thin, and they were all cobblestone and they were unlevel. That's what I'm trying to get at. They were unlevel, unpaved, and it was just so raw, so personal. That was, it was amazing. And the fact is that the float barely fit in some of the corners. I definitely got a video of that, and the man had to like push against the walls and they were like aching, and the pain was real. But I guess that's what That's what makes it so magnificent. The realness of it. It was a super intimate experience. And this experience is what I'm going to share. So that Semana Santa parade, the procession is finishing through it, and the full one from when it began to the end took about, I don't know, 50-ish minutes. And bear in mind, this town of Mijas, or I'll put it down here, right here, is pretty small, and it's mainly for tourists. So this procession was massive, and one of the stops, you probably saw that it was the high angle. Sam side, the guy who organised that stop, I mean, he paid for it. He had like huge banners on the side. He even brought me into his house, showed me the TV and like the procession live, just a few minutes delayed. Absolutely insane. And like the masks, everything, the outfits, what? I've seen pictures of this when researching, and it gets you personally when you're here. It's such a weird experience. Like, you feel them, and the way that you can only see their eyes, that's very interesting too. The weirdest part is probably when they were carrying the floats, and the floats are meant to be insanely heavy. That's why they have these stops every like 4 minutes, and 40 people hold the float. And when they stop, like, you can see them, they're in pain, their eyes are just in agony. It was awful, and a lot of them were walking barefoot as well. So like, I have props to everybody and respect for everybody who endures and puts their service like this. It's amazing. Well, anyways, I think this is me done in Mijas. If anything else happens tonight, I'll just like lead you straight into that, but if not, I'll see you tomorrow. Stay subscribed.